Good morning of class 8. Welcome back to your chemistry classroom once again. Today I will start from classification of elements. So let's start and look at your book. Elements categorized into metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. So look at the examples. Metals like lithium, beryllium, sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium and aluminium. These are considered as metals. Next, metalloids, boron and silicon. Non-metals are carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. Basically, gaseous substances are non-metals. And noble gases are helium, neon, argon, xenon, radon, krypton. All of you know about noble gases. So these are basically classification of elements. So elements are categorized into four groups: metals, non-metals, metalloids, and noble gases. Next, characteristics of elements. Elements are classified into metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. Next, metallic elements. Their characters. Have luster. Luster means shine, glossiness. Are malleable. Can be beaten into sheet. I mean, we can transfer into thin sheet of any metal by hammering. This quality is also known as malleability of metal. And ductile, can be drawn into wires. So we can easily transfer metal into thin wire. This ability is also known as ductility of metals. Are good conductors of heat and electricity. Have high melting and boiling points. So basically metals possess a high melting and boiling point. Have a high density also. Contains one type of atoms, monoatomic. Basically, metals are pure substance. That's why they consist of one type of atoms. I mean, they are monoatomic. Next, non-metals. Do not have any luster. I mean, they don't have any glossiness or shine. Are non-malleable, matlab cannot be beaten into thin sheet by hammering. Are non-ductile, we can't transfer it into thin wires. Are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Have low melting and boiling point. Have low density. Contains a monoatomic or diatomic atoms. I mean, consist of either one type of atoms or more than one type of atoms. That's why they are either monoatomic or diatomic atoms. Next, exception are very important. So student, be careful about the exception. To properties of metals and non-metals. Mercury. A metal is a liquid at room temperature. Though at the room temperature, any kind of metal is solid at state. But in case of mercury, it is a liquid metal at common room temperature. Zinc. Zinc as a metal is non-malleable and non-ductile. I mean, we can't transfer it into thin sheet as well as wire. Iodine, it is a non-metal, but it has a lustrous. मतलब इसका properly कोई glazziness और shine है. Graphite, though it is a non-metal, it is a lustrous and a good conductor of electricity. So exception are very important. Especially graphite. Graphite, though it is a non-metal, that's why, though it is a non-metal, but it has lusters as well as is a good conductor of electricity. Next, metalloids and noble gases. Elements which shows properties of both metals and non-metals. So those kind of elements shows properties of either metals as well as non-metals. They are metalloids. Same way noble gases which occur in the traces in the atmosphere in the gaseous states. Basically, which kind of gas are inactive in nature. They can't take part in chemical reaction. They are noble gases. Are chemically reactive, are chemically inert or inactive. Contains one type of atoms, I mean monoatomic. So the metalloids are monoatomic because consist of specially one type of atom. And in case of noble gases, they also consist of one type of atoms. I mean they are monoatomic. So noble gases are inactive. They can't take part in chemical reaction. Same way, metalloids are chemically reactive. I mean, they can easily take part in chemical reaction. Next, some examples or symbols. Names and symbols of important elements, metals, non-metals, metalloids, and noble gases. First metal, potassium, capital K. Sodium, Na, all of you know. It inherit from the Latin name of sodium. सोडियम का लैटिन नेम क्या है? नेट्रियम. दैट्स वाई इसका सिंबल है नेट्रियम से Na. As well as calcium Ca, magnesium Mg, aluminium Al, zinc Zn, आयरन का Fe. बिकॉज आयरन का लैटिन नाम क्या है? फेरम. लेड का है प्लम्बम. कॉपर का क्यूफ्रम. मरकरी का हाइड्रोगियम. सिल्वर Ag, प्लैटिनम. Pt, गोल्ड का Au. Ag for what? Argentinum, and gold ka aurum. That's why their symbol is Au and Ag. Next, hydrogen ka H, nitrogen ka N, oxygen ka O, fluorine ka F, fluorine ka Cl, bromine ka Br, iodine ka I, carbon ka C, sulfur ka S, silicon ka Si, phosphorus ka single P. Next, metalloids. Boron ka capital B, silicon Si, germanium Je, arsenic As, antimony Sb, tellurium Te, polonium Po. And the noble gases are helium He, neon Ne, argon Ar, krypton Kr, xenon Xe, and the radon is Rn. So all of you will learn the example as well as their symbol. Next. So next part is molecule. So I will discuss it in the later. So for today, up to this portion.